Hello, everyone. My name is Brendan, and welcome to Our Life in Horror. I am so sorry. StreamYard is just on the fritz lately, it seems. I'm glad you guys could all see me and not hear me, but I am here. And we're here to discuss The Shape of Water with its movie's number one fan. We got Rob Humphrey.
Hello, everyone. How you doing, Brendan?
Hello. I'm better now that everything seems to be working because
I was purely good with just acting like that didn't happen and just moving on, but you acknowledged it right up front. And, all right, I respect that decision too.
Of course, I don't know how else I would go about it. To be honest, I can't unacknowledge the fact that I was live and people were looking at me and they couldn't hear me. But whatever, we had to start a new stream. It's fine, like you said, second time's the charm.
Sure.
So, Rob, why don't you tell everybody about what you're up to?
I am a member of Slasher Radio. We are a weekly horror movie podcast. You can find us wherever you get podcasts. All the episodes now, from what I understand, get automatically uploaded to YouTube also. So you can check us out on YouTube. We just had Adam Green on for a 2-hour interview where we talked about Hatchet and his movie Frozen and a little bit about the movie he's working on now. Funny enough, he didn't want to talk about that too much. So we didn't really press for too much information on that. We were happy to just talk about Hatchet and stuff. And also one of the hosts of the Nick Effin Woo Cage Cast. That is a podcast that you can find wherever you get podcasts, where we talk about Nick Cage movies and we're going through his filmography in chronological order.
You must be getting near the end, though, aren't you?
You'd think. We've done 92 episodes, so we've got, I think, another 20 or 30 to go. And he keeps making more movies. So, and I don't know how we're going to handle the TV show. He's never been on a TV show before, but he has a TV show coming out. So I don't know what we're going to do about that one yet.
You got to throw that in as like a bonus thing or something.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Awesome. I am just going to say hello to the chat real quick, and then we'll kind of dive into what we're talking about. So, Anthony, hello. The creature took down the last stream, literally. Yep. And for a movie so good, the creature didn't want us to talk about it. Ali just showed me The Shape of Water a couple of nights ago. Beautiful film, lots of layers. Yes. I do have some thoughts about this movie. I haven't even told you about this. We didn't have a chance to talk before coming on. Hall & Oates, what's going on? Oh, yes, as you can see, I am flying solo tonight. Sam is in her own little world currently. We'll just...
She has a strong dislike of me and didn't want to be here.
No, she was like, you're going to have so much fun with Rob tonight. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's just be nice that she could like back me up, you know?
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Throw me some ruthless comments. Let's see. Saying hello. We got Ryan Swayze. He's got the link up for Slasher Radio. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, Ryan. You are the best.
He's always doing hard work in there.
Dude, this guy, he mods for like 7 channels at least.
Oh.
That's probably minimum, right, Ryan? Like, you're all over the map.
That's crazy. I have for one, and I don't even know how to do it.
That's just so your comments probably just don't get taken down. That's probably the only reason. He's also got Anthony's YouTube page up there. Go check that out. He does lots of great stuff. Let's see. We got Gory Tiger. What is going on?
Yeah, that's
Allie,
a cool name.
Hello.
Gory Tiger? Yeah, it's a cool name.
Yeah. We got Gene. Hello, Gene. And Sam is here watching. So watch what you say, Rob.
I'm here watching. That's a creepy message.
She said she might watch for a little bit and then dive into a show. So,
great. Thanks.
I am currently. Have you watched the side note? I guess. Have you seen Have you watched Squid Games at all?
I don't. I know. I watched like the first 2 episodes of season 1. I couldn't get into it. I'm not a big TV show person. If it doesn't grab me right away, I'm out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down to one last episode, and it's like the series finale before all the spinoffs come out. So I got one episode left.
I enjoyed the reality competition that Netflix did. That was fun.
I didn't end up watching that. You like that?
Yeah, that was kind of fun, but I didn't really. The show I just couldn't get into.
Okay. All right, Rob. Well, we're talking The Shape of Water,
We are.
and I want you to tell everybody why you decided to pick it.
Well, I didn't really pick it. Sam approached me wanting to do an episode about it because I talk about how great it is all the time. But I'm more than happy to talk about it whenever. I love this movie. It is my favorite movie of all time. I will argue with people. Sometimes people tell me it's not a horror movie. I disagree. I think it is a universal. It's very much in the mold of the universal horror movies. Guillermo del Toro made a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie where the creature gets the girl at the end. I think it's a beautiful film. I love the story. I think it is Del Toro's clearly his love letter to all movies, not just horror movies and not just monster movies. I mean, he said, I don't remember if it was in his Oscar acceptance speech or not, but he called this. He talked about growing up and always loving the monsters. Those were the characters he identified with the most and the ones that he loved the most. And I think that clearly this is a love letter to those monsters and those monster films. But this movie also has elements of obviously there's romance, there's espionage, there's a heist, there's a 1.5 to 2 minute black and white musical number in this movie. Yeah. I mean, it is clearly a love letter to all film. The main character lives above a theater, and her hallway outside of her apartment is full of film canisters. So clearly it's a love letter to all movies. And I don't see how anyone can love movies and not like this movie at the very least.
Okay. I definitely agree with most of that. And funny, you forgot to add how funny this movie is.
Yeah, it touches all the different genres.
Mm-hmm. And all types of different characters with very full backstories too, which is very impressive for the large amount of cast that we do get. If I was in the right mindset yesterday, I probably would have cried in this movie.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
I might have. I'm just saying, I might have. I could almost feel it, but I wasn't in a crying mood. So it wasn't like that one movie I watched this year where I did have a little tear up in the theater.
What movie was that?
Bring Her Back.
Oh, that one got you.
I had a tear up scene with the brother making the phone call to his sister. I had a really, really bad day at work to begin with, so like life was just really down, so that didn't help at all.
Okay. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. Like I thought it was okay. It's getting a lot more love than I expected it to be honest with you. Like it's not bad or anything. I just thought it was all right. The one that almost got me was Sinners.
Sinners, yeah.
Yeah, the last scene in Sinners gets me.
Where it's him in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good too. I love that movie too. That's definitely
so good.
It's number one or number two. It's like Bring Her Back, I think was more horror for me.
Yeah.
So that's why it might take the number one spot because it legitimately freaked me out.
Yeah. Sinners is head and shoulders my number one right now for the year. I don't know that anything's going to change. I mean, Del Toro's got Frankenstein coming out later this year. That I expect to be very good and could probably give it a run for its money. But I have a feeling Sinners is going to be my number one come the end of the year. It's just so good.
Is there a trailer over Frankenstein, or is there just concept trailers yet?
I don't know. Okay. I try to avoid trailers as much as I can because they sometimes spoil things I don't want spoiled.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about. I know people who will get up and go stand in the hallway at like the theater waiting for the trailers to be over before they'll go back into their. Like I'm not that crazy about it. Like if I'm at the movies and they show the trailer, I'm just going to watch it. But I don't. I won't go seeking trailers out. If I see a story on, whatever news site or Twitter or whatever with a link, I'm not going to click it. Okay. I really try to avoid them as much as I can.
If there's a movie I really want to see and the trailer comes on in the theater, I'll close my eyes and plug my ears.
Yeah, see, I don't do all that, but I will try to as much as reasonable to avoid them. And in part of our conversation with Adam Green, he talks about that. Like, and I guess I didn't realize this, filmmakers have virtually no say over the trailers at all. Like the production company, the studio, whatever, takes them to an outside trailer house who creates the trailer. and then that's just sort of that's what they're going with, and the director doesn't have any say over it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like so many movies are misrepresented that way. It's insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of a real quick tangent too on Adam Green here, you said that he was coming out with a new movie.
Mm-hmm. He's in post on a new movie right now. Yeah.
Did he tell you what it's called? Just so I can kind of.
It is called Ascent.
Ascent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The plot seems fairly similar to Frozen. I without knowing too much about it, because again, we didn't talk too much about it. He didn't really want to talk a whole lot about it, but it sounds kind of Frozen in a hot air balloon.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of the impression that I got from what he did say, but he didn't want to talk too much about it. So.
Okay. Hit the comment here. We got Anthony. I love Bring Her Back. The movie definitely delivered an emotional punch for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can look. I'm in the minority on that movie, and again, I don't think it's bad. I don't. A lot of people are hailing it as the most disturbing thing they've ever seen, or best movie of the year. I didn't think it was quite all that. Although it does, have Sally Hawkins in it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got Sam here. Oh my god, that sounds awesome. Hot air balloons scare me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what people would find scary about them. It's just a wicker basket tied to the bottom of a cloth balloon, and it's all powered by fire. What could go wrong?
Sam, you and Bruce are both scared of hot air balloons. There's a hot air balloon you could see in the distance, fairly low, and Bruce was just fucking barking at it the whole time.
Nice. Yeah. I don't like them either. I'm afraid of heights, so there's no way I'm getting in a basket dangling from a balloon.
I think I would try it once. Let's see. We got Happy Sanjo. We got Koi in the house. What is going on? And of course, Ryan has his link there. Go give him a follow. All right. I'm going to dive into some facts about this extremely long movie.
I don't think it's extremely long. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's 2 hours and 3 minutes. I was gonna post I wanted to do an Instagram story and tag you in it and be like, 2 hours and 3 minutes, it better be fucking worth it, Rob. But Sam's like, I don't know if I would do that. But let's see here. We got The Shape of Water from 2017. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 3 minutes. It's got an IMDb score of 7.3 out of 10, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 92%. The overview for the film: Elsa is a mute, isolated woman who works as a cleaning lady in a hidden high-security government laboratory in 1962 Baltimore. Her life changes forever when she discovers the lab's classified secret, a monstrous scaled creature from South America that lives in the water tank. As Elsa develops a unique bond with her new friend, she learns that its fate and very survival lays in the hands of a hostile government agent and a marine biologist. This movie stars Sally Hawkins as Elsa, Doug Jones as the amphibian man. I think he's actually titled as the Asset.
Yeah.
We got Octavia Spencer as Zelda, Richard Jenkins as Giles, Michael Shannon as Strickland, and Michael Stubbsberg, I'm probably going to say that really badly, as Hofstinger, I believe was the name. And let's see. This is, of course, directed by the legendary director Guillermo del Toro. I do not have a budget for this movie.
I don't know.
I can tell you what awards it won. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture, the Academy Award for Best Director, Golden Lion, Academy Award for Best Music Original Score, Academy Award for Best Production Design, and it won a bunch of Golden Globes. I don't see any other Oscar wins, but yeah. So what's that? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Won 4 at the Oscars, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it should have won at least one more. We'll talk about it later, but there should be at least one more on there.
Original screenplay?
No, well, I mean, I guess, but Sally Hawkins did not win for Best Actress, and that's a crime.
Oh yes, I agree. Even Richard Jenkins as a supporting actor, blew it out of the water in my opinion.
Yeah, he's great in the movie. She was nominated though, and she lost to Frances McDormand for that 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, or whatever it is.
Oh,
and like that's fine, and she's fine. But Sally Hawkins is amazing in this movie.
Yeah, she is really incredible with how much depth she can provide without speaking. Wikipedia says the budget for this film is $19.5 to $20 million, and its box office budget, I'm assuming globally was $195.2 million. Sorry, Anthony, you beat me to the punch there. Koi has the Criterion 4K of Shape of Water.
Nice. I need to pick that up. I need to do that this month while they're on sale.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if they're on sale here in Canada or not. I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
Yeah. All I have is the standard Blu-ray.
Yeah. We rented it last night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's $5 to rent if you haven't seen this movie and are unsure, because that's why I haven't bought this movie yet, because I haven't seen it. I know there's a lot of hype around it, and I didn't want to purchase. I think right now it's sitting at $55 for the Criterion here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So I want the Criterion edition, trust me, but I was a little weary about that big of a purchase.
Yeah, it's tough. Criterion, especially their 4Ks, they're like $50. So it's really hard to pull the trigger on a blind buy at that price. You know, I mean, they're $50. So right now the half off sale is going on, so it's still $25. I mean, that's not exactly cheap.
That's more reasonable. That's the price.
It's definitely more reasonable, but it's still not cheap.
Yeah, well, they're the highest boutique label around, right? Like they're the most expensive compared to everything else. Like I don't know what your Scream Factories are worth there, but like our Scream Factories still go for like, I think minimum they're like $39.99 for a 4K.
Yeah, I want to say the 4Ks are maybe 35. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever bought a Scream Factory 4K. All the Scream Factory stuff I have are the Blu-rays from a while ago.
Oh, okay. So I guess we know that you absolutely love this movie, and I'm going to give my thoughts on this movie. Spoiler-free thoughts I will give. This movie's really good.
Yeah, right?
This movie's really good. I knew in the first 15 minutes that I was going to love this movie just based on color, camera movements, editing, and cinematography alone. I'm like, if I don't get any more than this movie is going to look beautiful. I'm going to understand it completely. But this movie is, like Rob said, an incredible love letter to all film, not just the Universal monster movies, but it is heavily influenced by that, with the amphibian being the creature from the Black Lagoon stand-in, which looks so good. I think the only aspect that I have, and the only thing that I'm going to fight you on in this movie are the horror elements, because they're incredibly far and few and in between.
Yeah.
But I do see that they are there. But would I go ahead and call this movie a quote unquote horror film? Probably not. It's tough because it's a monster movie, right?
That's the thing. And to me, it is, if you go back and watch the Universal horror movies, they're not scary. I mean, at the time they came out, they were, but now they're not. But this to me feels like one of those, and I consider those horror movies.
Okay, fair. So I've had this debate with some other people, lots of people actually, because I've been fighting for it for a while. But would you not then consider a movie like Reign of Fire a horror movie?
I've never seen Reign of Fire, so I don't know. It's with the dragons or something?
Yeah, it's with the dragons. Yeah. I can't believe you haven't seen it. Okay.
No,
you should watch it.
If I see dragons, I'm kind of out. I'm like, that's gonna be stupid. I'm not watching that. I have time for you dragons.
I'm still dying on this fucking hill that movie's a horror movie. If we're calling The Shape of Water a horror movie, Reign of Fire is a horror
Fair
movie.
enough.
I've just fought with a lot of YouTubers about it, and I cannot seem to get one to be on my side.
Yeah, a lot of people. I have this. So I never thought of it as not a horror movie until I said it was my favorite horror movie, and then people lost their minds at me.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not, but it just never occurred to me that it wasn't until everyone started telling me it wasn't. I'm like, no, I think it is.
Well, yeah, because like we automatically assume a monster with a horror movie, right? Like monster movies equal horror movies. It's just that sub genre of movies.
He eats a cat.
Oh yeah, and viciously too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like we have lots of movies that are like more comedy than horror, but we still throw it in the lump sum of horror movies that we have.
Yeah, this one just lives in that world where people argue, is Jurassic Park a horror movie? Or is Jaws a horror movie? Or The Terminator or Predator? I hear that, this argument goes on with a lot of these sort of borderline movies, but I think this one is.
I mean, The Predator's not a horror movie? Who says that?
I think it's more of an action movie. It's like a sci-fi action movie to me. It's because it's got Arnold in it. You're just like, it's not a horror movie.
Yeah, true. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna hit up the chat real quick.
Which is another thing with this one. It's Del Toro, and I'm always kind of like, well, it's a horror movie. It's Del Toro.
Yeah, but this almost has that whimsical feel of like. Would you consider Pan's Labyrinth also a horror movie?
No, and so this one does kind of fall in that zone of Pan's Labyrinth. Like I think Del Toro at some point described The Shape of Water as a fairy tale,
and
I think that's pretty accurate. But I think fairy tales have horrible stories, or I mean,
not meant for children.
Yeah, we got a whole universe of children's stories now.
Yeah. That's very true, and that's kind of what I was thinking after the movie. I'm like, Guillermo del Toro is like the director of like amazing, incredible like fairy tales.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth in a very, very long time, but like you can't tell me that scene with the guy with the eyes and the hands or whatever is like one of the scariest fucking images you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's absolute nightmare fuel.
Yeah, even the goat thing or whatever, like the creatures themselves are horrifying until you get to know them more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, this movie also Lamb is another one that people tell me it's not a horror movie. I'm like, I don't know, man. That lamb creature is pretty creepy looking.
Yeah, and then the big half goat man at the end of the movie is fucking very unsettling.
Yeah.
I love that. We're gonna have a good debate about this, I think. Let's see. Anthony says, Strickland, oh no, a man washes his hand. Oh, he's quoted before and after tending to his needs, before or after. It tells a lot about a man. If he does it both times, it's pointless and weakens his character. That did make me chuckle.
Yeah.
Let's see. He knew in the first 15 minutes it was the bathtub diddle scene that did it. It was not. It did take me for a loop, though, because I thought this started way different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an interesting way to start any movie, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's an immediate way to grab your attention, that's for sure. Don't have time for dragons. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I can't. The bathtub scene is intense. I'm surprised she didn't break off a fingernail. Okay, we got Coy. In my honest opinion, The Shape of Water isn't a horror movie in his opinion.
All right.
Having horror elements doesn't make something horror.
Okay. No, you're right. It doesn't. Because I love another one of my favorite movies is Zodiac, the David Fincher movie, but I wouldn't call that a horror movie. Okay. It has elements of, there's a serial killer in it and stuff, but I don't think it's a horror movie.
Yeah. Well, that's
he's right about that. This one feels like a horror movie to me.
Okay. Yeah, like you could go back to even like children's movies and stuff like that and be like, oh, The Brave Little Toaster has a few absolutely terrifying segments in that movie. Would you consider that being a horror movie? So it's kind of tough. Anthony says, I think The Shape of Water can fit into a lot of different genres. Absolutely, it does. It definitely does a great job of blending genres without them seeming to overtake the other.
Yeah, they all
Like,
they all seem to fit.
and I think
There's
that's due to like the incredible acting and characters that we're
yeah,
given.
yeah, and it's I think he shifts from genre to genre throughout the movie. I feel like, but it all flows like it feels seamless. It's never jarring. Like, oh, now we're doing this. What you know,
Mm-hmm.
everything just sort of flows together nicely.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool aspect, and I definitely didn't have any problems with it. I watched 2 reviews last night about it, just from some big YouTube people, but without having to like to dive into any of the backstory or anything like that. And the one was like, it bends genres, and he didn't think it did very well, but I think it did it very well. It was almost like this year's like 28 years later. Did you think that movie's tonal shift was too jarring for you?
I hated that movie.
Did you?
I was so bored in that movie. I was so mad at that movie. I wanted 28 Days Later. I wanted zombies running around, and I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
So no. But I mean, the shift in tone, I guess, in that movie wasn't too jarring, but it just made me mad because it didn't give me what I wanted. It's been a long time since we got one of those movies, and I got fat zombies crawling on the ground. Come on.
Oh, you got like the first act of that movie is fairly riddled with some cool zombie action.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, well, guess what? If you didn't like it, the next movie's coming out in 28 weeks.
I know.
So,
I know. And then the naked guy with his big old dong flopping all over the place. Come on.
Yeah, Sam, lots of wiener.
Yeah.
There was an amazing amount of wiener for a movie that was only rated 14A in Canada.
Yeah, I saw somebody mocked up a poster with it, and they changed the title to 28 inches later. Yeah, that's more accurate.
I think I saw that one too. All right, guys. Well, we are going to hop into some spoilers. So if you guys have not seen this movie, go watch it. I absolutely recommend that you go watch this movie. Put this on pause, watch the replay later, and come on back. But Rob, describe this movie in 3 words.
This was tough. I had a lot of different things I was going to go with. Finally, I just settled on beautiful fairy tale.
Okay, nice. I got Del Toro's best, and then I also came up with a backup with "Fuck the Creature."
So that's the thing about this movie, right? That is the thing that everybody takes away from the movie, and so then it becomes almost this joke movie of like, oh, that's just fish porn or what. Like, I have some friends who call it Grinding Nemo. Like, it's just, and I get it, because obviously that's the thing that everyone's going to remember about the movie, but the movie's so much more than that it gets frustrating at times. Almost, I almost wish that it wasn't in the movie, because it gets so frustrating at times when you're trying to talk about this movie. I mean, I think there's a lot more here, and people just aren't willing to dig into it, or they don't think to dig into it that much. This movie it's not only a love letter to films, but it's also telling a story of, it's almost like, without getting too political here, but given the political climate of the time this movie was made and currently, a lot of people are led to believe that their stories don't matter. That's what they're being told by a certain segment of our population. You don't matter. Your stories don't matter. And I feel like with this movie, Del Toro made a movie highlighting the stories of those marginalized people. I mean, our main character literally doesn't have a voice. Her friends are a gay man in 1962 and a black woman in 1962. The other character is an actual monster, but he's telling their story and saying, this is important. This does matter. And I feel like a lot of people don't dig into this movie past, oh, she slept with fish, Yeah. So it's frustrating at times, because obviously that's what people take away from it. That's, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah, and it's not even like they linger on it. It's not even shown in the movie. It's like, I did have a plot point where it was like, the monster doesn't have a dong. How does this work? Like, I did, and then they literally explain it in the next scene in a fun, casual way. Like it's they don't linger on it. There's no like gratuitous sex scene between Elsa and the asset. It's not like that happens in this movie. That's such a small pinpoint of the overall story. So yeah, I don't. I really like that they call it Grinding Nemo. I think that's fucking hilarious. But let's see here. Who is your favorite character? Because I think this is a really tough one.
This is a tough one. But I think ultimately it has to be Elsa or Eliza. Sorry, Elsa. What was that? Frozen or something? One of those Disney movies. Yeah. No, Eliza. I think is my favorite character in the movie. But it could be. I mean, it could be Giles. You know, I can't remember Octavia Spencer's character's name off the top of my head now, but it could be her. Yeah, Zelda. Yeah, I mean, all three of them are terrific characters. I could pick any of the three.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat with you there. It's so hard to pinpoint a favorite character, so I put Elsa and Giles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Eliza.
Yeah.
I'm doing it too. Eliza is such a good character because you get to see her get stronger throughout the movie. She starts out like, I hate to say that she started out as a quiet character, but she was awfully like, because she doesn't speak, but she's so reserved with what she says, and like when she knows that she can kind of even like take advantage, like once she knows she has gotten away with it, and this guy is like an asshole and he's not willing to learn her like sign language or whatever, she talks back to him and tells him to go fuck himself without him even knowing. And I think that's such a good, powerful moment for her within the movie. And Giles is such a sweet character. He really is.
You know, he's there. He's her friend. He's got her back throughout the entire movie. He's great. Yeah. He's
so supportive, and he wants to do things even when he knows he shouldn't. He still does it, and you know, he's just like old. Yeah, he's 57. And he connects so well with her, and it feels like for like before the creature comes out, like he is the only other person that saw her, and it's kind of the same way around, because like in 1963 to be a gay man, I'm sure was not a fun time.
No, absolutely not.
Like you clearly see how you get the reaction from that hot dog place or whatever, the pie place.
Yeah.
But who's your least favorite? It's
also sort of alluded to that he lost his job.
Yes.
Because he was gay. Although it's a little, that's the one part where this screenplay or the story is a little murky, because it's either because he's gay or because he was a drunk. Because at some point they ask if he's drinking still or if he quit drinking or whatever. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there. There is a book. There's a novel that Del Toro wrote with another guy whose name I can't recall. And I have not read it, but I want to. And that's one of the points I'm hoping is cleared up a little bit in the novel.
Okay. I can take that in a couple ways. One, the drinking was probably an issue, but like say, because it seems like that him and his boss had quite a good relationship, or whoever that guy was.
Yeah.
So maybe they were drunk at a Christmas party, and then maybe he tried to make a move then.
Yeah, that is kind of the same thing that I was kind of thinking along those lines. But yeah, it's a little murky. That's the one thing the story doesn't make perfectly clear.
Yeah. Who's your least favorite character?
We just talked about him. Pie Guy.
Oh, Pie Guy.
Yeah, that's his actual credit. I looked at least on Wikipedia, because I couldn't remember if they gave his name or not. And he was just listed as Pie Guy, but that he's the worst character, the least likable character in this story for me. I mean, I know we could say, you know, you could look at Strickland and say, because he's obviously the main villain in this movie, but I think this movie does such a good job of, you mentioned it, flushing out all the characters so that they feel like real people, that I think we get a sense of Strickland and kind of why he's the way he is. So it makes it a little easier to understand, even if you don't agree with it. But Pie Guy, we don't get any of that. He's just terrible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I could definitely see that, because Strickland is, you know, nuclear family, came up from the war, you know, he hasn't let anybody down. And then when he finally fails, it eats him until he has to get the asset back. Like that's his one priority, and he'll do whatever it takes to get the job done, right?
But there's also very much a sense of he's a guy who has done all of the things that he's told that he was supposed to do in life, right? I imagine he went to school, he did well, he excelled in all the areas they tell you that you have to, and you'll get that quote unquote American dream, right? You'll get the nice house and the nice wife and the 2 kids, and we see him buying a brand new car in the movie, but he's still very unhappy. Like he got all that stuff, and he's still not. It wasn't. Maybe you find out, you think that's what you want, you work your whole life to get it, and once you've got it, maybe that wasn't what you wanted to begin with. And we get a little sense of that with his character too.
Yeah, although I can't imagine what else Strickland would want in life.
I don't know. I can't either. But it seems to be there. At some point he's just like he's at home with his family, and he just gets up and goes and sits in his car. Like, he's not happy.
Yeah, he does not want to be. Yeah, like when all the scenes when he's at home, he's totally checked out whenever his children are trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely going through his own thing. There's just like no love in his relationship, which was a sex scene I don't think I needed to see.
Right.
Michael Shannon seems to do a lot of sex scenes too, and I'm just like, it's okay, man. We don't need to see it. Yeah, Michael Shannon's an incredible actor, though.
Yeah, he's great.
Well, guess we'll move on to the best acting category. Another tough one to pick from.
Yeah, there are a lot of great performances in this movie, but it has to be Sally Hawkins. I mean, she does the impossible. She's playing a character who can't speak, and yet there's not a single second of this movie where you don't know exactly what she's thinking or feeling. Like, it's just incredible.
I'll totally 100% agree with that. I also put down Richard Jenkins as well, but yeah, Sally Hawkins just absolutely nails this character. She goes through so many different emotions in this movie, and she conveys them so well. And yeah, not being able to speak through it is literally the hardest thing to do in a movie.
Yeah.
And she nails every second of this film.
Yeah, she's great. And everybody else is great too. Like, I don't think there's a bad performance. Like, I couldn't point to someone who's like, oh, that they ruined the movie with that. Like, everybody's really good, Octavia Spencer she's just a gem of an actress. She's always great. She's terrific in this movie. You mentioned Michael Shannon. He's always great. Yeah, everybody's great.
Let's see. I'm gonna hit the comments here real quick because Anthony has a funny joke. Thank God, 28 years later, it wasn't in 3D. those dongs would be coming right at you. Love it. We got Allie totally agreeing with Rob. The Shape of Water is a beautiful work of art, and it's such a shame when it got reduced to being just about a woman who has sex with a fish. It's such more than that.
I agree 100%, Allie.
I 100% agree as well. All right, I didn't get to write too much down about this, but let's go with the score and soundtrack.
So the score is absolutely gorgeous. I've got it on vinyl. I ran out and bought it. I don't remember. Did it win for score? Best Picture, was that on the list? I think it did. And it should have. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And it's very fitting. It's rare to me. So a score will typically only stand out in movies where it's bad for me, because if the score doesn't match what's happening in the film, I'll notice it and it will drive me crazy. Usually when a score is doing what it's supposed to do, which is enhancing what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing in the film, I don't tend to notice it. Like, it doesn't really stand out to me, but this one did on first watch. It's just so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got that like whimsical feel, like I think a lot of other Guillermo del Toro films have. I don't think it was very deep and brooding either, but I think it was a good. I mainly was just kind of watching the movie for the first time, so I was trying to get like quotes and stuff like that. So yeah, it did stick out to me, but I can't pinpoint exactly.
Yeah, and I think it does a good job, again, of dealing with the genre twists. Like, it just seems to fit all throughout the movie. It's really good. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I picked up the vinyl, and it's been a long time since I listened to it, but it's really excellent.
Mm-hmm. I do love the black and white song choice that they do there, where they're singing and dancing, because I was watching the movie, and then Sam just like popped in. And I'm she just came and laid down by me at the couch, and I'm like, look what movie we're watching. All of a sudden, we're watching a black and white movie. And it's a musical number, and it's fantastic. She's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
just because she's totally out of context on what was
Yeah,
happening.
you don't see that coming usually on first watch. It took me by surprise when I was sitting in the theater. I was like, "Oh, we're doing this now. All right."
Same here, because I really loved the sequence where it goes to her and she's trying so hard to speak, and you just get these little murmurs out. You know, it's almost like a stage play at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just bursts into the sequence of her singing and dancing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this was awesome. What a good transition into the scene that came out of nowhere.
It's the only time we hear Sally Hawkins' voice.
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually don't know if that's her singing. It might be dubbed. I don't know. I don't know what her singing voice sounds like.
I don't know. I'll see in fun facts, because I will do some fun facts for this movie for sure. Let's see, Anthony. I also loved how much the film tackles communication and how her and the creature developed this bond without saying a single word. You don't always need words to understand someone.
Yeah, you just need boiled eggs.
Boiled it, yeah, food. All right. Well, we kind of talked a little bit about this, but let's get into the cinematography.
I mean, it's pick a frame. You know, you can hang it up in on your wall. It's beautiful throughout.
It's incredibly beautiful. There's so many. This movie is also so colorful. Like, there's so many different shades of green throughout this movie, which I thought was an incredible touch of how much green they were able to splash all over the screen. Like I said, I knew for sure in the first 10 minutes I was going to love this movie just from how it looks and the camera angles, the transition from her walking around her room to going down in a theater, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
We talked about the black and white scene, which kind of came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, it looks fantastic throughout. I mean, there's Del Toro's movies don't miss in that regard. They always look great. Always,
yeah. I love the setting as well. If we're gonna talk about just how overall look, like I think 1962 was a perfect timepiece for this. I like all the cars and everything just looks of that period. I'm trying to remember. There's this sequence too where she's playing with the raindrops on the window, and then you just start to follow the raindrops and they start dancing around each other and then they become one. I thought was really well done.
Yeah. I like maybe my favorite shot in the entire movie is when she goes after the creature has escaped her apartment, and she goes looking for him, and she finds him standing in the middle of the movie theater. It just looks so good. Like he's just standing there watching the movie on the screen, and she goes up to him. But it's such a great looking shot, because it's one of those cool old movies. Like, it would look crappy if it was set modern day and it was just like an AMC, you know, but it's one of those old movie palaces. So it looks really good.
Yeah. It's a legitimate theater from back in the day. So yeah, it has a nice touch to it. And I love how just like enveloped he is into the film.
Yeah.
I can't really say much else more about it. I just think this movie is incredibly gorgeous. Like you said, Guillermo del Toro nails every movie's worked on with cinematography.
Yeah, even movies that I don't love of his, they look great. I mean, I'm never going to complain about the way they look, you know.
What, like, you think Blade 2 is like not a good movie? Or I think that's one of the best.
Specifically Nightmare Alley.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I didn't care for it that much. It looks fantastic, but I didn't like the movie itself. I just didn't care for it that much.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that one, and I don't think I've seen what's the one? That's first movie, actually. The Devil's Backbone.
Oh, I haven't seen that either. Actually, I haven't seen, because he's got a couple other movies I haven't seen either. Like, he's got some films I haven't seen.
Yeah. I would like to go out and buy all those movies on the Criterion, because they put out all like Kronos I haven't seen yet either.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I think Kronos was his first, and then I think it was The Devil's Backbone. I'm not too sure on that. Did you watch sidetrack, but did you watch Crimson Peak?
I did. Yeah, I like that movie.
Do you?
Yeah, it doesn't get a ton of love from people. I thought it was good.
Okay, that was just one I haven't seen, but also not a lot of love for, and it's also a Criterion edition. So
Yeah, you talk about a movie that looks good. That one looks really good too.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, we'll go with favorite outfits.
I never know what to put for this. I don't know. People wearing clothes. What do I know about it?
I am in the same boat, and what I will say is the outfits are perfect for the time period that this movie
Sure.
is set in. There is not a thing out of place.
Yeah,
It's
lots of dudes in trench coats.
lots of dudes, and the Russians, all of them, they dress exactly how you'd think they would dress, or how they've been perceived in older cinema as well. So even Michael Shannon's character is always in a black suit, black tie. Same thing. Like he's like very representative of like quote unquote the Men in Black from back in the day. So yeah, I think this would be more so Sam's category, and I'm sure she would have picked something out that would have worked. But this is what we got.
But yeah, I got nothing for you. I don't know. I'm wearing a T-shirt. What do I know about it?
I know. I mean, like, yeah, I can't think of anything wrong. But let's move into some memorable lines, because I do think there are some good ones, and I probably only got the comedic ones.
That's fine. I wrote down none. I forgot that was a category. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least I got a couple. We already had Anthony with the talking about gentlemen taking pisses.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. I did not put that one down, but I did put down cornflakes were made to stop masturbation. Didn't work though. Most of mine come from Richard Jenkins, because I think he is so funny. If I could go back and go back to when I was 18 and give myself some words of wisdom, it would take care of your teeth and fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Good advice all the way around.
Absolutely. I got Michael Shannon here. I still got my thumb, my trigger, and my pussy finger.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite lines. It's very funny.
Yeah. And then I got fuck, you are a god.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We got Prince is in the house. What is going on? The most bizarre Del Toro I have ever seen. I wish I was the fish man. Awesome. So do you have any I guess maybe you don't have any lines disliked?
No. There's nothing that stands out to me. Like I can't think of anything. And those are, I'm much more likely to pick up on lines that stand out to me as bad than I am ones that I think are good, to be honest with you. But I can't think of anything in this movie.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't think of a single line that was bad either. Anything that threw me off or a bad line delivery. I thought everything was great.
Yeah.
Well, we might be pretty short on this category, but what was your favorite kill?
I mean, I guess the cat. the Russian, I guess the Russian spy, that guy. Yeah. He dies too. Maybe him. I don't know. There aren't many, right?
No, there's 3 in total, I believe. There's the cat, there's the Russian, and then there's Strickland. I'm assuming Strickland died.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just those 3. I think the most gruesome death was probably the Russian spy.
Yeah, that one was torturous almost.
Yeah. Yeah, when he gets the I actually really liked it, because he gets shot through the cheeks, and then Strickland carries him over through the hole in his cheek like he just caught a fish, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was really good symbolism.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We got Anthony with a line here. Strickland, what am I doing interviewing the fucking help, the shit cleaners, the piss wipers? He was very upset in that scene.
Yeah.
Let's see. Prince here. What movie would you pair with The Shape of Water with? I would go with The Lady in the Water.
Ooh, a couple of water films, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, the obvious thing that jumps to mind immediately is Pan's Labyrinth, right? They're both Del Toro. They both have that fairy tale kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I don't know. Maybe Lamb. I don't know. There's some sort of weird similarity in my head with Lamb.
Okay. I actually kind of thought immediately after the movie The Lady in the Water too, but I haven't seen that movie in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it was like new on HBO or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't remember it.
We watched it in high school.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember why we watched it in high school, but the only thing I can tell you I really truly remember about that movie is there's one guy that just works out one arm.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even remember that much.
Yeah, like he works out just half of his body, and that's it. That's the only thing I know about that movie anymore. But for some reason, maybe it was just the cover of the movie, but that was one movie I did think about.
Yeah.
Yesterday. But like I don't know, Pan's Labyrinth is a great choice for this as well. You could also just do the original Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, that would fit.
I mean, to do an easy cop out, really.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. Should we skip least favorite kill because?
Yeah, I mean, I you know, the cat, I guess, because it's sad.
Yeah,
the cat.
I will also go with the cat, but let's go with gore factor and special effects.
Well, the special effects look great. I don't know. I mean, I guess there is some gore in it. You talk about him grabbing the guy by the jaw and stuff, and his fingers. You know, Strickland's fingers are turning black and gross. But overall, I mean, the special effects are fantastic. Like, you know, the suit and everything for the asset, the Gill Man, whatever they call him, he looks fantastic. You know, the whole the opening shot as we're going into Eliza's apartment, everything's just kind of floating, and then the water kind of goes away and everything falls down into place. That looks so good. I mean, yeah, the effects are great. It's all fantastic. I'm not going to say anything bad about this movie.
Absolutely, but like we got to highlight the good stuff, right? So like the Gill Man, I think the suit is incredible. I love the design. I like how his gills almost resemble that of like I want to say like something on Royalty. You know how like old Royalty, they had like the popped up like shirts or whatever.
Right.
That's kind of what I got. I got very like this guy is like very king like, just like even just from his basic design.
Yeah.
And I liked how when he was touched or whatever, if he was like in a good mood, he would have those blue streaks run up and down him. I thought it was very cool as well. The only thing that kind of bugged me every once in a while was his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looked kind of cool. They did something weird with him, but it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just because I don't know, maybe it was just something I wanted to nitpick, but like his eyes just kind of seemed a little off to me.
Yeah,
but
no, I could see that. I could see that. And speaking of performances, Doug Jones in that suit, he's great.
Wow, it's Doug Jones.
Right.
He's been acting in suits since he must have been a toddler because he just nails everything he's ever in.
Yeah, he's great.
Even outside the suit, he's an incredible actor. What I loved about the one thing I think I saw was Guillermo del Toro even calls him an actor. He doesn't call him like a stunt man. He says that you needed an actor in the suit, and I think Doug Jones is an incredible actor.
Yeah, he's great.
Let me see. We got Prince. I agree with the eyes. It's strange as fuck.
I have to go back and pay attention to it. I mean, I noticed they do some weird stuff with them, but I didn't think it didn't bother me.
I mean, it must be like the shape or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like, maybe they're supposed to be like more fish-like than human-like. So maybe it's because they look more fish on like something that's pretty close to being human-esque. It kind of throws you off.
Yeah, I could see that, I guess.
But yeah, like even the CGI holds up incredibly well. This movie is all practical. You talked about the fingers. You could just smell those fingers through the screen. It's just gross. The cat as well. You got simple things like scars. They never change their spot. Like she's got the 3 scars on either side of her neck. That there's no inconsistency with them. They're always there. So yeah, I think it's all fantastic. The storyline and pacing.
I have heard people complain that they feel like the movie moves slow. I personally think it's great. I never get bored with it. And I guess I can see the argument. Like, I guess if you feel like it moves slow, I guess it's because you're not buying into the characters that they're creating, but I'm all in. So it doesn't bother me.
No, I'm totally all in with you as well. Even when I took a pause at a certain point. It was actually exactly at an hour 3 to go out and have a smoke. And it's not because the movie was dragging by any means, but it's because the movie ramps up to a point and then slows down for a bit, and then it ramps back up again at the end. So like the first half of this movie, this first hour, even the first half hour. Oh, where'd he go? We lost Rob. Did you guys lose me? Am I still here? Oh boy. StreamYard. I tell you. Prince, let me know if you can see and hear me. I'm assuming we are okay. Anybody? Rob swam away. Yes, he did. Thank you, Prince. Thank you. Okay. Well, I guess I'll kind of continue talking about what my thoughts were on the pacing. So the pacing of this movie is very well done, in my personal opinion, because like Rob said, if you don't buy into the characters, I don't think you will get that invested into it. But the first half hour of this movie is getting to know the relationship between Gills and Eliza. Yeah, Eliza and Zelda and Strickland. Like, you get that kind of setup, and then we get the heist sequence. So like it builds up to this heist sequence where they got to escape. And then once we escape, I kind of figured this was where the movie was going, where we get this sequence, probably 20 minutes of the creature being out in the wild. So like out in modern times, you know, he's literally a fish out of water, as they say. He's experiencing everything else. He does have intelligence, so he understands what's going on after a while. But yeah, so I think this movie is paced incredibly well. I love this story. I think it is so good. It's such a good tribute to a Universal monster film. And Guillermo del Toro was originally signed up to do the Dark Universe Creature from the Black Lagoon, but dropped out because he wanted to make the whole film from the perspective of the creature. And he did not like that. Or Universal didn't like that. And so he decided to leave the project. Prince, we will be getting to that eventually at the end. I am hoping Rob will be back, and Rob is back. Hello.
I'm an idiot. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I didn't mean to. I inadvertently clicked my mouse button, and it just happened to shut everything off. So sorry about that.
That's okay. I was just talking about how, well, Prince was wondering what we're going to rate it, but we will rate it at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But I was talking about how there's this good flow of setup and then anticipation and then action, and then, you know, you fall back down into that. There's like a good wave, right? And then you fall back down. Like after the heist, you slow back down, even knowing there's still tension throughout the movie, because now Strickland is on this investigation and you don't know who's going to slip up and you don't know when. But like the core of the second movie is this creature being a fish out of water in 1962's, you know, I think it's Baltimore, right?
Yeah, Baltimore is what they say. Yeah.
Yeah, like downtown Baltimore, when he's just been shipped from the deep Amazon rainforest. He's never seen any of these things. So then it ramps back up again once the Russian gets killed and, you know, he gets to find him. So I do think that this movie is well paced, and I do love the story very well.
Yeah, I think so too. And that heist is so good. Like that, the heist sequence is maybe my favorite part of the movie. It's so well done. I really love that. You talk about Strickland's investigation and how we mentioned the line earlier. He's questioning, why am I questioning the help? Like he thinks so little of these people that he can't. It's impossible for him to even imagine that they would have pulled off this heist, let alone they would know anything about it. You know, it's just it's so good. And
he's so close to actually stopping the whole thing too.
Yeah,
like it's really funny. And I think that it's nice that the Russian was able to catch on to this whole thing too and help them out. And I wasn't sure. I thought for sure the Russian was going to go back on them, but I appreciate that he didn't.
Yeah, I did too. That would have ruined that character for me because what I love about that character is that he's a scientist first,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to see this destroyed, and he wants it to be studied, and he's 100% on that because he's a scientist, and it's had they changed it, it would have it would if he double crossed them or ratted them out or whatever, it would not have been good.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Do you got anything else to add story?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You got favorite scenes?
Well, I already talked about the heist scene. I love that whole sequence. I think is very good. The scene where Eliza is arguing with Giles about whether or not they should do it, I think is a really good scene, a really powerful scene, and well acted on both their parts because again she can't talk, and they do this interesting thing where she's signing, and instead of putting the text or the subtitles on the screen, she's demanding that he repeat what she's saying so that she knows that he understands it. So he's in a sense arguing almost with himself because we hear him say what she says and he's like, I understand that, but what about this? And it goes back and forth. It's so well acted. It's so well done. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I really like that scene as well. So my rental didn't come with screen the captions or whatever.
Oh no, really?
So yeah, but like when she was, so I turned it on about a third into the movie because like we got to the Russians talking at their first meetup, and they're talking the whole time, but I'm like, am I really not going to understand like what they're saying? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I turned on the captions and they went on. But before that, I was never lost with anything that was being conveyed through sign.
Right. Well, yeah,
Like,
because she does such a good acting, or just such a good job acting with like her face and her just expressions and her emotions that you might not know the exact words that she's signing, but you know what she's saying.
yeah, you know what she's feeling anyways.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I thought that was very cool. Like I went the whole movie, like a third of the movie without even doing anything. So just gonna say hello to Kaylee and Robbie. What is going on? That horror couple.
That horror couple. Check out their channel. Cool. Their channel's a lot of fun. Check it out.
Oh yeah, Robbie is so much fun. I do have the black and white sequence down here as a really I think it was just the right amount of jarring to take you out of the film.
Yeah, and it doesn't last long, so that's good because I'm not a fan of musicals. But when it started, I was like, "Really, we're doing this? All right, here we go. I'm on board." And then it's maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes at most, and then you're back out. So
yeah,
but it's great because it's another way to sort of recognize and show love for yet another genre that he hadn't gotten to in this film yet, but also a way to show us what Sally is feeling because it's when she's sitting at like the dinner table with it's just her and the creature, so she doesn't have anybody she can sign to and she can't talk, so there's no way to express what she's feeling clearly except for to take us into her mind to this musical number that's playing out. It's a really brilliant scene.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely agree, and I think it looks wonderful. The number, like the backgrounds, everything about that is so good. I do like the introduction of like the creature and like until like because we have no idea what's gonna happen. We like.
Right.
I didn't know if there was going to be like a lot of like back and forth to start with this creature, and it was going to take a bit for them to connect. So once she's like leaving the egg and stuff down, I'm like, is this creature going to like fuck her up first? And then it's going to be like, oh, okay, you're not a threat. Like you're okay. So I did think there was some tense sequences there. I also really like just Elsa and Giles just vibing, watching TV together, and they start doing the musical number with their feet. I thought was really fantastic. Also, another thing about Giles I really liked is like he is so dedicated to this young man that doesn't know how he's feeling, and they get the stupid key lime pie, and you get the shot of his fridge being
Right, just
full of them, because like the other guy doesn't know how he feels, but like he thinks that they think there's like miscommunication there, even though when they're talking, there's still zero miscommunication. And then once the bad sequence with that guy when he totally shuts him down, but there's a line he says before he even says that, is like, I'm basically a bartender. I'm here to listen to your problems and agree with you. But like the other line to that is, I really don't give a fuck. I'm just here for a tip, basically. Right.
Yeah.
So I saw the end of that coming, and I'm like, oh, this guy's just going to get his fucking heart broken.
Yeah.
You know, he dresses up. He's got like the wig on and everything like that. He's trying to look his best for this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty heartbreaking. And then, you know, but he goes back, and that's, I think, part of what gives him the motivation to help Eliza out.
Yes, I think so too, because if he can't have his love, why would he not try to help his friend out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just had another sequence I really liked too. I can't remember it.
Oh.
I didn't write down very many scenes just because I was too enthralled in the movie, but I definitely do like all the different genre bands. Like you have the heist, you almost have like a neo-noir thing too going on with the Russians, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, the scenes with the Russians are the first time I watched it, I was like, oh no, this isn't going to be good. But it's great because again, it's dealing with the scientist, and he's playing both sides at some point, because he's just trying to figure out a way to keep this thing alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really do love that. Even like Zelda's scene at, like, when she's at home, I wasn't sure if it was going to go that far and show.
Yeah.
Is it Bob? Is that her husband's name?
I can't remember his name. But yeah, he's lazy, just sits around all day.
Yeah, he literally just doesn't even get up to the couch and defend.
Yeah.
Defend her, and I don't know. I hope she left him after that, but
yeah, I do too.
The sequence I really liked was of course, this creature does have powers, magical powers. I think that was just a nice touch to add some extra lore to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it brings up the question again. I mean, they say that the tribes in the Amazon worshipped him as a god. So you know, if that's the case, then certainly he can regrow hair on a bald man.
Yeah. Well, he can heal cuts. He can almost mutate people as well.
Yeah,
because that kind of happens at the end of the movie. That's another thing I really like too. Is she has exactly 3 scars on either side of her neck.
Yeah,
and then by the end of the movie, they become gills. I'm like, that. I didn't even think about that the whole movie. And then when they came back into play, I'm like, that is so fucking smart. I can't believe that. They were unexplained too until like that's what they were meant for. These two people were.
It's briefly sort of explained that her voice box was removed when she was a baby, and that's where the scars came from. Or at least Strickland posits that when he's having a meeting with her. And I think that the interesting thing about the way that it ends and the way those scars play into it is it's sort of like this thing has made her quote unquote different her entire life, right? She can't speak because of it, and she has these visible scars, so she feels different, and she's kind of I don't want to use the word meek, but kind of, right? Like she's, like you said earlier, quiet, although that sounds like a joke almost because she doesn't have a voice, but she's just sort of small and quiet and meek. And by the end of the movie, what she realizes is that when these things turn into these gills, that the thing that made her different is actually what makes her special and allows her to breathe underwater. You know, I think it's a lot more powerful than people give it credit for, because she sleeps with a fish.
Yep.
You know.
Allie's got a favorite scene here too. My favorite scene is when Elsa fills up the bathroom with water when Strickland interrogates Zelda at her house, and the final underwater scene with Elsa and the kid creature.
Yeah, those are all great scenes. I mean, filling up the bathroom with water. There are some people that are just never going to like a movie like this, because I hear people go, "Oh, that would never work." The water, well, yeah, of course it's not going to work. Please, there's a gill man. Of course, you got to suspend disbelief on this. Of course, it's not going to work.
Oh, I thought that would totally work. To be honest with you, it wouldn't work. I mean, water can't all flow through the floors that fast.
I
But
guess.
maybe. I was kind of waiting for them to crash down through the theater, to
Oh
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Yeah, the interrogation at the house of Zelda, I thought was an excellent scene as well. And of course, the final scene underwater with Elsa and the creature is a beautiful cinematic scene.
yeah.
I
Supposed.
also like that whole aspect too. You get, Giles as somebody who's clearly wouldn't be a violent person, but when he has to, he steps up. He nails fucking Strickland right in the face with that fucking pole.
Yeah, he does. It's great.
Do you got any scenes disliked, Rob?
No, I mean the closest thing I could come to something that's disliked is the scenes between Giles and his former boss. Just because that's the one part that's not really spelled out clearly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost feel like they could have just been cut out. I'm not sure that we need them. I mean, they add a little bit to the character, but you really got to do some mental gymnastics to get there.
Yeah, like I think if they would have added just like one sequence of like explaining why he was fired,
yeah,
I think would have helped out. Like other than just like implying that he is a gay man who is also a drunk.
Right. Yeah, and I get, like, in a way it does still add more to his character because now we see that he can't find work and everything else, but also it's kind of they're just those. I think there's two scenes with him and the boss, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yep.
And I feel like both of them aren't quite fleshed out enough.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I don't think it's necessary to cut them out, but I could definitely see your point on.
Yeah.
I don't think it would add or take anything too significant away from the film if it was taken out. So
yeah, and they're really short too. That's the other thing. They're not like long scenes where there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. All right, so our last category is kind of an odd one for this movie, but the killer. Can we name anybody for this?
I mean, I almost feel like Strickland. I mean, because the creature, well, he kills the cat, but he's really just doing what a creature's going to do, I guess. But Strickland is kind of we see him kill the Russian guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the creature does kill Strickland at the end of the movie, but again, he's just doing what a creature's going to do. So I mean, I would have to, Strickland, I guess, would fill that role in this film.
Yeah,
if like there was one.
Even during the opening narration, when it talks about how a monster ended it all, right, clearly in my mind went straight to Michael Shannon, because Michael Shannon has always been a great villain. So I'm like, he is clearly the monster of this movie. It's not the monster itself.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, even like with what you said too about how fleshed out he is throughout the movie as well, I was just like, you understand what he's going through, so you do dislike him, but at the same time you understand that he is a broken character trying to do whatever he can.
Yeah, and I think I saw somewhere where Michael Shannon said that he tried to play this character with the mindset of, if this movie was set in the 1940s or early 1950s, he would be the hero. If this was one of those Universal monster movies from the 40s, he would be coming back, the conquering hero, having gone to the Amazon and captured this character or this creature. And he's sort of just a character out of time a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's a good point, because I think all these characters are people out of time, right?
Yeah.
Like, even Richard Jenkins says that he was either born too late, or I can't remember exactly how he says it, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
He doesn't know if he was born too early or born too late, something like that.
Yeah. So like, I think that's the problem with a lot of these characters. They're all great people. They're just in the wrong time, and I could totally see that too with him being the hero of an earlier like 50s film.
Yeah,
a decade earlier, I could definitely see that. But yeah, man, that guy's got to get his fingers checked out. Was he taking? I'm assuming he was taking like antibiotics.
I mean, you would think. I don't know. He had some sort of pills, but I don't know that they ever go into what they are. I don't know if they were antibiotics or some sort of pain pills.
Yeah, because he starts like taking handfuls by the end of the movie, and I thought like maybe that was making him a little extra crazy, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I never thought about that. I guess I assumed they were just for the pain of having your fingers torn off or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, those fingers look gnarly.
Well, now you'd get both. You get antibiotics and painkillers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Michael Shannon in this movie. Like, I don't love him or anything like that, but he does hold a certain screen presence on film that it's hard to deny that he doesn't have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we got scary rating.
No, this is 0. This movie's not scary. You know, I don't even know when the creature gets the cat, if there's a jump scare involved or anything. I don't remember, but like, it's just, there's nothing.
There's like one jump scare in this movie, and it's when the creature slams his hand on the glass.
Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah. But yeah, even that's not that scary.
No, that's totally telegraphed. If you didn't see that coming, that's on you.
Yeah.
So yes, my score will also be a 0. What do you have for? Well, what's your rewatchability, and would you recommend?
Yeah, I'd recommend it. It is imminently rewatchable. I watch it a lot. And everyone, if you haven't seen this movie, you've got to see it. It's a classic already. It's like a modern day classic. Like,
yeah, I totally agree.
Although I did see somebody, I posted on various social media accounts that I was watching the movie, and somebody did come in. And they chimed in with like, I really like this movie, and I almost forgot about it because you don't hear anybody talking about it anymore. Yeah, I mean, that you don't hear a lot of talk about it. It's, it's 8 years old now, won the Oscar, 7 years ago or whenever they gave out those awards. But and yeah, it's kind of fallen off. Like, it's not one that you hear a lot of people talking about anymore, which is a shame. But it's also in that weird kind of range too, where it's not old enough to be like one of the classics that people are going to refer to a lot. But not new enough for people to really be talking about it a lot as a contemporary movie. So maybe we'll see how it ages, I guess.
Yeah, and I see this movie aging incredibly well. Like, I think Guillermo del Toro in general his films, when on release, are incredibly well perceived, and then eventually tend to lose steam.
Yeah,
like I don't hear too many other people talking about Pan's Labyrinth either. Like,
yeah.
Or The Devil's Backbone, I think, is one that I hear mentioned the most. And that's one that I haven't even seen.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, those horror people, horror fans, we're kind of an obnoxious lot sometimes. We like to show off what we've seen, so we're like, well, I've seen Devil's Backbone, and it's like, all right, good for you.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you read a list of like the top 10 horror movies of all time, you can always tell if the guy is trying to prove how deep his horror cred goes by whether or not Peeping Tom is on that list. They always try to fit Peeping Tom on there, so they can be like, here's the weird movie from the 60s nobody's heard of, but we've all heard of it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So we will get into overall rating out of 5. What are you giving this movie?
So 5.
It's 5.
Yes, it is without a doubt a 5. It's it's my favorite movie. There's no way it's going to be a 5.
This is your number 1 out of 100.
It is. Film? This is number 1. Yeah.
Yep. Fuck. Okay. This is gonna be real hard for me because it just borderlines on being not horror, but it is a monster movie. So, I don't know, I might go 5 too. To be honest with you, I do think it's an incredibly made movie. Even if I'm not willing to totally lump it in a horror film category, I do say that this is an incredibly well done movie, and I cannot deny that. Just because, like, I've watched Oscar movies from the past, and like I've either liked them or I fucking hated them, And this is one of those Oscar movies that I loved because it didn't feel pretentious and it had a really good story and whatnot. Like, so yeah, I'll go with a 5 with you as well. I'll agree.
I'll take it.
I wonder what Sam would give this movie. I hope she watches
I don't know what she would give this one, but she'll love the remake in 20 years.
Probably. I love that. Everybody in the chat, let's hear your score out of 5 while I ramble off some fun facts. Let's see here. Let's see what IMDb's got for fun facts. One of Octavia Spencer's favorite things about the screenplay was the fact that by letting the main couple be mute, most of the dialogue comes from a black woman and a closeted gay man in real life. They were both have experienced oppression during the 1960s setting of the film.
All right.
Okay. Director Guillermo del Toro said that Sally Hawkins not only was she the first choice, she was the only choice. I wrote the movie for Sally. I wrote the movie for Michael Shannon. Sally is, I wanted the character Elsa to be beautiful in her own way, not in a way that is like perfume commercial kind of way, that you could believe that this is a character. This is a woman that would be sitting next to you on the bus, but at the same time, she would have a luminosity and beauty, almost magical, ethereal. Yeah, that sounds right. When The Shape of Water screened at the Toronto International Film Festival in 2017, the screening was held in the Elgin Theatre. The interior scenes of the theater in the film were shot in the Elgin. Oh, they were shot in the Elgin theaters.
Oh, wow.
So as the audience was watching the film, they were seeing the same theater on screen as what they were sitting in.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Nice.
After seeing the trailer, Kevin Smith tweeted, "Seeing something as beautiful as this makes me feel stupid for calling myself a director." At least he can poke fun at himself.
He certainly can.
Yeah. Director Guillermo del Toro first met Sally Hawkins at the 2014 Golden Globes and pitched the film to her while intoxicated. He says, "I was drunk, and it's not a movie that makes you sound less drunk."
No, it is not.
Let's see here. That's a long one, so I'm gonna read that one. Most of the characters were written with the actors in mind. Octavia Spencer said her character was reminiscent of a collaboration between her roles in The Help and Hidden Figures, and that she would have played the desk if Guillermo del Toro asked her to. The creature design is heavily inspired by the creature from the Black Lagoon. Michael Shannon's character says that they picked it up in the Amazon River in South America, which is the setting of the creature film. So, of course. One day after completing her demanding underwater scenes for filming, Sally Hawkins flew to London to begin production on Paddington 2, only to find out that she would have to shoot the underwater scenes for that film on the first day.
Oh, I haven't seen
sucks.
Paddington 2, so I can't speak to its underwater scenes, but I'm sure they're great.
You know what? A lot of guys at work tend to like that movie because with the ones that have kids.
Oh yeah,
They all say Paddington's pretty good. Let's see. Octavia Spencer said that she would have walked the earth to work with director Guillermo del Toro. She was so taken back with the set and the many props that she asked him how many she was allowed to keep.
Oh, well, hopefully she got something.
Yeah, she probably got her something at least, I would think. Let's see. According to an interview with the National University of Mexico TV channel, Del Toro said that this film had flopped. Oh, that if the film had flopped, he would have to retire from directing altogether, he stated. As well, that was also the case with Pan's Labyrinth in 2006 and The Devil's Backbone in 2001 due to deep personal nature of these projects.
Oh, I was going to say he's always riding that edge, apparently. Jeez.
Yeah, he's ready to hang it up if the movies don't work.
I guess.
Oh, this is a neat one. Richard Jenkins' character was originally written for Ian McKellen.
Oh. Yeah, I'm happy with Richard Jenkins.
I am also happy with Richard Jenkins, but I think Ian McKellen would have nailed it as well.
Yeah, he's a great actor. It's just tough for me to picture anybody else in that role now. I mean, I've seen this movie I don't know how many times.
True. It took over 9 months to arrive at the look of the creature. Director Del Toro calls it the most difficult movie he and his team has ever designed.
No.
Richard Jenkins was cast via email from Del Toro with a message: "I hope you love this, the script as much as I do."
All right. I mean, that seems like a weird way to cast somebody, but it worked.
I mean, when you have somebody in mind and that's kind of how you want it to, that's who you want it to be, you'll just kind of do whatever. But
yeah.
When she was offered the role in the film, Sally Hawkins herself was working on a script for a short film about a woman who turns into a fish.
Wow. All right.
A lot of weird similarities going on here.
Yeah.
Them in their real life.
Fish movies must have just been floating in the air around that time or something.
Yeah. While filming the scene where Michael Shannon drives to confront Sally Hawkins' character upon discovering she helped the creature escape, Shannon drove his car and stopped outside of the theater, but he forgot to put the car in park, resulting in the car rolling down the street, and it collided with a decorative pole as well as a telephone pole, damaging the poles in Shannon's vehicle. The production team decided that take was so well done that they kept it in the film.
Nice.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. In all the times I've watched it, I don't know if I've noticed that, but yeah, the car was already damaged on the front end anyway.
Yeah, true. But like it's so quick because like doesn't they show the car come up and then the camera follows them around the car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Del Toro's breathing was recorded as a part of the Amphibian Man's vocalization.
What's wrong with it? He needs to go to the doctor.
He's got some old man grunts going on, you know, the dad grunts.
Yeah. Oh, I know him well, trust me.
The theatrical poster was hand-drawn by Taiwanese American artist James Jean.
Yeah, that the poster's great. Both versions actually that I've seen have been fantastic.
I think all the posters I've seen for it have been really done. The Shape of Water is the top grossing Best Picture winner in 5 years, grossing $194 million worldwide on a budget of $19 million.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is something that very rarely happens, is that the Best Picture winner is actually a success at the box office.
Yeah. I mean, well, sometimes it have like Anora, I think, did okay at the box office, didn't it? That was the most recent one.
I'm not sure about that one.
But yeah, usually it's like they're usually not huge hits.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Despite visual similarities, director Guillermo del Toro denied that this film has any connection to Hellboy.
Oh, because
I think because of the fish guy.
Yeah, the character in Hellboy, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those movies are decent, but I don't remember them that well.
Yeah, like the first one was pretty good. I think a lot of people hold the second one pretty high too.
Yeah, I didn't mind either one of them. I didn't like that one with David Harbour. That one was terrible, but
I haven't even seen it yet.
It's not Del Toro, so it's like it's just not as good.
Yeah, I think I heard bad things and I just never got around to watching it. There's already another one coming out at some point, so what's the point? Let's see. Director Del Toro worked on this film for 7 years and developed it even before he began production on Pacific Rim. Eventually, he chose to direct this film instead of Pacific Rim Uprising.
Well, good.
Yeah, that was a good choice for him because Uprising sucks. Are you a fan of Pacific Rim?
I don't think I've ever seen either one of them.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean they looked fun. I just never got around to watching them.
Yeah, do you ever have do you have movies where you start it and then you like no matter what you have to finish it?
So I have a rule that if I start a movie, I finish it.
Oh, okay, that's cheating.
So, yeah, I don't stop. The last movie I can remember starting and not finishing because it was so bad was Poultrygeist: Night of the Chicken Dead. Okay. It's a trauma film, and I was just like, I can't. This is so bad, I can't do it. But generally, my rule is if I start a movie, I finish it.
Okay, well, that's a good.
Maybe
Rule.
not in one sitting, but I finish it.
Yep. Okay. Like no, like in one sitting, you have to finish it, no matter what time it is, how
Yeah,
tired.
no,
No.
that I couldn't do. That I could not do.
Okay.
I mean,
I
I
got
start
two.
movies. I start movies sometimes knowing that I'm not going to finish it until the next day because it's late or whatever.
Okay. I got two movies where no matter what, if they're like on, if I catch the first 5 minutes, I'm hooked until the end of the movie, and that's the Star Trek reboot.
Okay.
And probably Pacific Rim.
All right. I'm trying to think though if there's anything like that with me where I'm just like I'm up, I'm in, I'm not watching, I'm not going to bed. I can't think of anything.
No,
I mean now,
I figured you
because you can watch stuff whenever now. You know,
Yeah.
like everything's streaming, everything's available. It's like, I'll watch this. I'll watch it all tomorrow. I'll go to sleep. I'm old. I need my rest.
I will sacrifice sleep for those two movies, and I don't know why. But I think I've rambled off enough fun facts. Let's see here. We got some ratings going on from some people. We got Hall & Oates giving it a 5. Maybe if I watch it again, it'll be a 5.
Yeah, Holland, it's a 5.
Yep. Allie gives The Shape of Water a 4.5.
Ooh, Allie, I'm sorry.
For me.
You're real close, but you're still wrong. It's a 5.
Anthony also gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
That close, Anthony. That close to the right answer.
Almost. I gotta admit, it's a fucking cinematic masterpiece of a movie. Fully horror, arguable. I would fight that for horror, but Allie says you've got to see Paddington 2, Rob. It's fantastic.
So here's the thing about me, Allie, and the way my brain works. There's no way I can watch Paddington 2 because I haven't seen Paddington. So I'd have to watch Paddington and then Paddington 2, and I don't know that I'm up for running through the Paddington franchise or whatever, so to speak. So I probably will never watch it.
I haven't seen Paddington either. I'm not gonna lie. I did run through the Sonic movies not too long ago when I was sick, and that's just kind of my go-to is weird children's movies. I guess when I'm sick, Sonic was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I had a kid, and so I had to go. There was a 4 or 5 year period where I had to go see every talking animal cartoon that came out in the theater. I've had my fill of those movies. I'm good.
That's fair. But you know what? When was your son born? Like, were you in like the peak era of like Disney Pixar?
No, he was born in 2007. So it's like,
You're close. Close.
I mean, the movies were like, which ones did we like? Like Inside Out was a big movie for him. I haven't even
seen that one.
I'm
thinking more like Cars and
no, that's older. Yeah. That's older. He's a little too young for that.
Okay. Yeah, because those were like peak Pixar movies, right? Disney Pixar. Yeah. Finding Nemo and
we missed that one. He was a little too young for that. I can't even remember. There were a lot of bad ones. Ones.
All right. Well, guys, that wraps it up for The Shape of Water. Rob, thank you so much thanks Sam so much for inviting me on for this because I think this was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry about the little glitch where I just shut my computer down for whatever reason. Of
course. Hey, I had a glitch throughout this whole start of this thing.
I don't know how that happened, but if there's a way to screw something up in a major way, I'll find it.
No, me too, apparently.
But yeah, always fun to come on and talk about movies with you and Sam when she decides to show up. And I'll talk about The Shape of Water whenever.
Perfect. Do you want to tell everybody what you got going on?
So you can catch Slasher Radio. That is a horror movie podcast that I'm a part of, wherever you find podcasts, and also now on YouTube. The episodes, so I'm told, get automatically uploaded to YouTube. I honestly, if they're not there, though, don't get mad at me. I have no idea how anything works. And you can also listen to the Nick F. and Woo Cage Cast. That is my podcast about Nicolas Cage. We're going chronologically through his movies. We have made it all the way up to 2019 now.
Okay. Is your when they get uploaded to YouTube, are they with video or are they just?
I think it's just audio and like a still image. I don't know. Anything works.
You don't check out your own stuff?
No.
I'm kind of the same way. I'll watch certain things, but I won't watch too much.
Yeah.
What do I got going on?
Whatever Sam tells you.
Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I don't know. I know our calendar is looking fairly bare for this month, because we were planning on slowing down. I think we have a horror hangout planned sometime soon, as well as Anthony and Allie are coming on, and somebody else is coming on for a horror trivia night this month. And I just don't know what else we got going on.
We haven't done trivia night in a while. That's fun.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. I was defeated on the trivia night that I was a part of, and I was brokenhearted about it.
I am still no longer allowed to participate in the trivia, so I don't even know. But yeah, I know that that's going on. I might do a channel members review of the just kind of Squid Games as a whole. When I finish that, I got one episode left. So when I finish that, I know I was supposed to do Reacher and stuff like that, but I don't know what happened. I just fell off the map on those shows, and I haven't picked them back up again. So yeah, that's all I know for sure. That's what's going on. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for watching and liking and subscribing, sharing the video. Everybody, please go check out Rob's podcasts because they're a lot of fun, especially that Adam Green interview. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was super nice. I still can't believe he gave us that much time. I mean, 2 hours he just spent talking to a few morons. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I love that. Let's see, Allie, hashtag let Brendan participate. No, I can't. I got to come up with the questions. But yes, thank you guys, everybody, so much. Thank you so much for Rob for coming on. This was a lot of fun as always. Everybody enjoy what's today, Tuesday. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week until we are back on again. And always remember to stay spooky.